Alright, we're gonna do spark plugs on the 2014 Volkswagen Jetta. 1, 2, 3, 4. First, start off by getting this off right here. Alright, so you got a little clicks. Just pop that in there. Careful because they can break easy. Click. Just get them to come up a little bit. Probably take them all the way off if you really want. One at a time. Alright. Alright. You can probably take this off too if it's in your way, but I don't feel like taking that off right now. So I'm just gonna move that out the way. Alright. Get that out the way a little bit. Alright. Now you want to start by getting all these bolts off. You got 2 nuts on there, so you need something to hold the bottom. If you have something to hold it, if you don't, what I use, sometimes I like to use this. Either that, or I try to just get something to catch the bolt as I gun it off. Let's see if it works. Alright, so got it done. Let's try this first. Let's try to hold that in the spot, maybe. Alright, well, that didn't work. Let's try this. These are a little pain. I don't know if it's a special tool or something for this shit, but let me try it like that. Try to get them in there. Just a little bit. Can I get that? It's in there a little bit, but alright, caught it. It's on. They like to break, so you gotta be real careful. Alright. Just keep that tight end up there. See that? I got another one. Try to get this one. Alright, that one came off easy. Alright. You could pop that little harness off too if that's in your way, but let me see. Alright, got all those off. Pull it back off. Now you can take this, start taking your bolts off. Alright, don't lose track of none of your bolts, alright? Now you can just start taking them out. Give them a little wiggle. Give it a little wiggle and twist. They'll come right out. Skip that one for now. A little wiggle and twist, wiggle and twist. Let's try it. Yeah. That one. Go down in the middle. One more. Alright, this one's a little tough. So in a way, so I'm gonna just grab this. I'm gonna kinda go in here with it and I'm gonna just kinda pry it up just a little bit. Alright, there you go. Alright, that's all your coils. Once you got your coils out, you can start getting your plugs out. Alright, gotta figure out what size plug. Oh, that one's too good. Usually whatever size plug this is usually the same size as the one in the car. Look like it's probably so. Alright, so if you don't got hand tools, probably should do it by hand, but me, I'm doing this for a while, so I'm gonna just gun them out. Easy. But first time doing it, just do it all by hand. I'm used to it by now. Let's drop that one back in there. Alright. There's all your plugs. I think this car got like 80K on it. Not too bad, but almost do. They don't look horrible, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Grab your new ones and let's go right back in. Alright, well, that's my new ones right here. They look nice and fresh. It's the old ones, as you can see the difference. Nothing crazy, but alright, so grab your new plugs. Some people like to put them on the end of the spark plug socket and put them in, but I like to just guide them down the holes as far as I can with my finger. Then, so when I put them back in, then I will start them by hand. So when I put them in, I start them by hand, just 4 or 5 threads. Just make sure they're in there for sure. You know, make sure they're in there. You know, keep going. Make sure they're all in there. Alright. Stay all in there. Then I get my gun. I don't go full throttle though. I just go halfway just to where it stops. Just like that. A little bit. Right there. Just a little bit till it stops. There. Right there. Boom. Go back to the first and I just tighten all by hand. Alright, so get your ratchet. Alright. Just once you get them snug, not even with the gun really, I just give it like 1, 2, 3, like three or 4 turns. Make sure they're in there. You know, you don't want to over tight because you can break them, and that will be very bad. Alright, plugs are in. Pretty much it. You can just start going back in with your coils. Start in however you want to go in. I'm just starting with this end, pop that in there. You could probably put grease on here, you know, so help out for the next person, but it'll be alright, bro. If these need to come out again next time, then it's a problem. Either warranty them or some other bigger problem going on. But pop those in. Alright, you want to grab your 10mm stud. Start those in by hand. Always when you put stuff back together first, you want to start it by hand. You don't want to cross nothing. You can get this one started a little bit, as much as you can. Alright, get your gun. Alright, get your gun. Get your 10mm. And start tightening them. Give it a little hit. You don't want to go too crazy. Alright. And you want to make sure you got your ground straps back on. Don't want to forget these. I don't know what purpose this does for Volkswagen, but just keep putting them on there. I guess they all got their own ground, whatever the Germans was thinking about. Yeah, whatever the Germans was thinking about. Those back on. Get them all on. Alright. You want to grab your thing, your adjustable. Alright, grab my adjustable, get on there as much as I can, and then you don't want to get caught on there, so just a little bit. Alright. Make sure you put all your clips back on. Alright, always make sure you remember to plug your coils back in. So this one is weird, you kind of got to put them in at the same time, so I like to just like, let's see if I can get up the line up. Hold on. Just make them like so you can just push them on. All right, boom. See how they all lined up, but they're not pushed on. 2, 3, 4. Look at that ASMR, perfect. That's pretty much it. 2014 Volkswagen Jetta. That's how you do spark plugs. All right. Let me just show you how to change the air filter out on here. This looks like the cabin. Alright. So Volkswagen, you know they got a lot of screws on there. Probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws. T's on there. What I got on there? T25 on there. So loosen all your T's up. Just lift this up a bit. You probably sneak in there. I don't know if you can try to fish that out with your hand. If you can't fish that out with your hand, you know, you get a little flathead or something. Whatever you can use that's nearby to help you pry it out. Just dig in there a little bit, give it up, and just, you know, this one wasn't too bad, but customer wanted it done, so it's definitely cleaner. So just get that back up and then stuff that in there. Make sure you're all in there, then boom, that's pretty much it. So you gotta be careful when you tighten because these bolts are very sensitive. So just one tap to get enough. Even still, that's probably a lot, but you know, we're flat rate, so we ain't got time to do everything. We gotta do as much as we can. Alright, got that on. Cool.